What is going on out there, YouTube? I am the Anonymous Prepper. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to part 5 of building a bug out bag on a budget. Now, I have right here some more items as you progress. Now, I've done 4 videos so far about this. Step by step, starting with your basics, working your way up. Now we're getting into, I still want to say, the intermediate category, because this stuff here is like right in the middle grade quality for gear, maybe a little bit more higher grade depending on what the items are. But this is the point now where you have all of your bag parts covered. You got your basics done. You have, all of the essentials for, a couple day emergency. Now we're getting into long term. Say if something really bad happens for more than a week and you have to, post up, or having a few items here as well for more long-term solutions. Now, to begin, let's see, where do we want to start here? We'll go with this little gem first, and before I get a comment saying, oh, that's not good quality, it doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. I tested this. It works fine. I have cheap compasses. I have expensive ones. This one is just as an example. But now you're at a point where you got to have a compass. This is a situation to where you're going to be out more than a week. Got to have navigation. And you need to learn about navigation. So another item as well, which I don't have handy at the moment, but having a map. A compass and a map. Now, we go to here. And as you can see, I got a bunch of items in this one. This one's my fire kit / specific items I'm going to need on the fly. We have here a lockpick. Never hurts to have one of those. You have, of course, a ferro rod. I'm not going to try to pull all this stuff out because I have too much of it. There's also, if I can get this here, you got your tinder. Cotton balls, Vaseline, and some alcohol, a couple lighters, other things that come in handy. What is this? I think this might be another. Give me just a second here. Yeah, these are lighters too. Had to double check that. It's been a little bit. This one here, we all know what this is. Now, you may see the standard, and give me a second here, because this goes together. As you can see, like that. Most people are used to seeing just a simple Silcock key. More commonly, this one. I have, and pardon me for putting this thing back together, I have this one instead. I have the full size, 8 different kinds, plus screwdriver, flathead, and Phillips. A must-have item. You gotta have a Silcock key. Now, something else. This is as you're advancing to note. This I have here is a tourniquet. Now, in my first aid kit, I have pretty much everything covered just about. This, to buy a tourniquet, it's a little bit of a pricey item. You might be able to find a cheaper one, but I consider this more of an intermediate item to add to your bag as you progress. Now, if you're bleeding out, you got to have a way to stop it. And, I showed you in my other videos, with tampons, how they could help. But if you have an injury that's very severe, you got to stop it with this. Next item. And I have 2 of these ones. If I can even get it out of the bag. Bear with me for just a moment. Either a set of binoculars or a singular one. As you can see, nothing fancy. It's just to help the spot at a distance. Many people will say, oh, just use your smartphone. Use your smartphone. I don't rely on technology. I rely on simple, basic tools. Hence one of these. As you're progressing with your kit, you add stuff to it. I have the singular and I have an actual pair of binoculars in my bag. As you can see. The next item This one is kind of a, I want to say, you could get it, you might not. I think when you get into the intermediate category of having a bug out bag, you got to get yourself a pair of these gaiters. They go around your legs and your feet to help to keep your ankles dry. Now, it's not going to help your shoes unless you have the right kind of boots, but these are not that expensive. They're like around maybe $8-9, maybe a little bit more depending on where you find them. These ones I paid, I think it was like $9 for them. They work just fine. I've used them a few times. They do the job. They work for your kit, keep your legs dry, and when you get to the point, have a good pair of boots. Strap these onto your boots, and you won't get no wetness on your legs, water in your shoes. These are great. They come in handy. The next item, well, it's a two-for-two-for here, I should say. We have a simple steel cup. And then, of course, a simple steel cooking pot. Nothing fancy. It does the job. Make your food, boil water, have something to drink out of. It does the job. Or you can get, I also have, a simple little small camping pot set. That works just as well, too. So, just think about, where you want to go. These, they were pretty cheap. Only a couple of bucks for the set. That's why I grabbed them a while ago. They're my beater pots, as I call them. They're not my heavy-duty ones. They're good for if you're out for a couple of days, yada, 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 all that jazz. Now, I've already shown this a couple times before, but more cordage. You can never have enough cordage. I'll say this 100 times over. You need a lot of cordage. I don't care what anybody says. You don't realize how much rope you use or paracord when you're setting up shelters or, say you have to go and you have to leave a shelter. You have to leave that rope behind. That's why you always have enough of it. Have a couple different colors. Have, your brown, have your green. Don't have something flashy like bright orange and stuff like that. You only want to use that kind of stuff if you're going out just for a typical camping trip. Now, my bag is made for, you have to go and you got to hide out pretty much. Now, this item here is a simple molly bag. And some of the items here go in this bag, and I have it for extra protection. If it's my fire kit, as you can see, is in one. I put in certain items in this one, like my water straws, which getting to that, I have the good old Life Straw. And no, this isn't the actual brand Life Straw. This is the one I've had for a while. Haven't used it yet. And then you have, of course, this water straw. And I have actual Life Straws, too, to clarify. So people in the comments don't say, oh, well, that's not a water straw. That's just a cheap knockoff. These work fine for what I use them for. I have my good stuff on standby for when I really need to use it. Understand that. These are for just your typical going out for a couple of days emergency, or going camping, you need to get water, you're going hiking, whatever. Next item, extra matches, 250 count. Gotta have fire. And at this point in the kit, you can never have enough options to start fires. Like this whistle here, which I should have covered that, but this whistle here also stores matches up here. Windproof, waterproof. I have my good matches in here. Then I have these for just a standard day, yada, yada, yada. Oh yeah, this too, I can't open it, I have it taped, but this here is a type of an arc lighter. And right here has a USB to plug it in to charge it. It's another option to where if you need to get a fire going, per se, and you're out in the woods, I could plug this into my solar panel I showed in my other video and charge this up for fire. A lot of people don't think about things like this. It's not, the most dependable item to use. It's an option to where if you're out in the woods for a couple of weeks, you need fire, you have this handy. This will work. That's why I have it. The next item, let's see. I've covered these before, bandanas. At this point, you should already have 2 in your bag. Now, if you're more advanced, and to this point, you want to get at least 2 more. Go up to 4. And now, another item here. A heavy-duty multi-tool. And I know people are going to say about the Leathermans. I know about the Leathermans. I've used them. But I came across this one here. This is just an off-brand called More Pilot. A while ago, like 5 years ago. This thing can cut through chain link fence without a problem. It's strong, it's heavy duty. I've beaten the crap out of this thing, and it has like just a couple of scratches on it. That's really it. This thing could take a beating. It was only $10. Works just fine. Sometimes with items, and people are going to disagree with me too. Oh, no, no, no. No, it doesn't work like that. You know how people say that type of thing. I'm the type where I shop for the diamonds in the rough. This one has good construction. It works. It does the job. It has a bunch of options, tools. You know, it has your usual saw, your pliers. Everything you need on this. If you find a cheap one that isn't flimsy, this one's solid, heavy duty, grab one. The next item. This one is optional, I'll say for this one, but this is a type of tying wire. If I can get it to focus, you can see it has a screw threads on the top there. If I can get the other side to work, if it'll focus. It attaches to that. They're steel. They're a good way to, you know, wrap something up and keep it good and steady and tight. Though I prefer paracord, but, you know, just to have an additional option to make like a snare or something else, you know, just throwing ideas out there. You got to play around and see what works for you. I like these though, they work great. The next item. Where do we go? Well, I guess we could do this. Now you're at the point of having all your gear covered. This here is a molly roll. All it really is an item that you could spread out to do just what I have here. Take out your items from getting wet, or just to have a place to sit on the ground that's dry. It's a great item. It's only a couple of bucks, about like 10. I love this thing. Heavy duty, good material. It does the job. Another optional item. This one I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but chem lights, glow sticks. These, I will say it 100 times over, you always want to have this as a last resort item. Your power goes out, you need something else to use, have like 3 or 4 of these in your bag, which I do. Or not, you could have, you know, a mini flashlight that, you know, last resort flashlight, you know, whatever. Personally, I'd say have like 3 or 4 of these. And I got that one in red. Get it in red. Don't get it in white, orange, or green. You want something that's going to light the area up, and it's not going to be like an eyesore, if you catch my drift. Now this item here, I've talked about scarves and stuff, but this one is one that people don't really think about here. And I'm not going to take it out of the bag. It's a terry cloth towel. It's very water absorbent. And the reason I put this one in my bag, and why people should have one of these, is because if you have to get cleaned up, you need a way to dry off. And I don't mean, you know, rinsing yourself off and still having dirt on you. I mean, if you have to like take a shower out in the woods or take a bath in the, you know, in the river, creek, whatever, to get all the stuff off you first and then dry off with this. It's very absorbent. It's small. It weighs practically nothing. It's a great item to have. And let's see, covered cordage. I got everything else covered here. Water straws. The last item. Well, it's technically 2, but gloves. Gloves. As you can see here, I have a very thin pair of gloves. These I would use if you're just hiking and you have something in your hand like a walking stick, or just, you know, moving through certain terrains, just to protect the palms of your hands from getting tore up. You know, something simple. These are cheap, like around $1. Some of the, I've seen on Temu, though with the tariffs now, that's going to change everything. But check on Amazon. They sell 5 packs of these for a couple of bucks. You just have to look and see. Or even check Dollar Tree for a cheap pair of gloves. Just to have an option. And then when you progress, now if you're doing like chopping wood or, you know, heavy duty work, we all know these. These are tactical gloves. Heavy duty. You know, they got the hard knuckle on them, good straps. If you're lifting heavy things, you need good grip. These are the way to go. Well, guys, this is part 5. I will probably do a part 6. There's a lot more I could add to a kit in the future, which I'll go over with you guys here. I know my time is limited, so I can't do content on the regular like I like to, but this is for part 5. So watch video 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go from there. When you get to 5, you can build from there. I am the Anonymous Prepper, guys. Stay safe out there. World's not doing good right now.